Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Jaya Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Jayo Brajayana Ranjana Yashodananda Yashodanandana Jayo Brajayana Ranjana Yashodananda Yamuna Tiravanachari Jayo Kunja Vihari Jayo Jayo Yamuna Tiravanachari Jayo Kunja Vihari Jayo Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Brajana Ranjana Haribo Yashodanandana Jaya Brajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Jaya Brajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Jaya Brajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Jayo Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jayo. Jayo Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jayo. Jayo Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jayo. Jayo Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jayo. Sri Radha Madhava ki jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Parivarya Kacharya Svatara Satta Sri Srimad Charana Ravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. All glories to Ensemble devotees. All glories to Ensemble devotees. All glories to Ensemble devotees. All glories to Sivuru Visivuranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 3, Text 22 till 24. Yasya Brahmadayo Deva Vedha Lokascharachara Namarupa Vibhedena Palvya Chakalaya Krita Yasya Brahmadayo Deva Veda Lokascharachara Namarupa Vibhedena Palvya Chakalaya Krita Yasya Brahmadayo Deva Veda Lokascharachara Nama Rupa Vibhedena Palvya Chakalaya Krita. Please read. Yasya Brahmadayo Deva Veda Lokascharachara Nama Rupa Vibhedena Kalguya Chakalakrita Deva Veda Lokascharachara Nama Rupa Vibhedena Palvya Chakalaya Grita Yasya Brahmadayo Deva Veda Lokascharachara Nama Rupa Vibhedena Palvya Chakalaya Krita. Yasya Brahmadayo Deva Veda Lokascharachara Nama Rupa Vivedena Bhagya Chakalaya Krita Okay, so there are more, two other slokas. Yatarshyo akne savitur gavastayo niryanti samyanti sakritsva ruchisaha tatha yatoyam gunasam pravaho buddhirmana kani sadira sagaha savai na devasura martyatiryam nastri nasando napuman najantu nayam gunakarma nasan nachasam nisedha sesho Jayatat Asesha. Okay. Jasya of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Who? Brahmadaya, the great demigods, headed by Lord Brahma. Devaha and other demigods. Vedaha, the Vedic knowledge. Lokaha, different personalities. Chara Achara, the moving and non-moving, like trees and plants. Nama Rupa, of different names and different forms. Vibhedena, by such divisions. Palgya, who are less important. Cha, also. Kalaya, by the parts. Krita, created. Jatha, as. Archisaha, the sparks. Agne, of fire. Savituhu, from the sun. Gavastaya, the shining particles. Nidyanti, emanate from. Samyanti, and enter into. Asakrit, again and again. Swarochisaha, as parts and parcels. Tatha, similarly, Jataha, the personality of Godhead, from whom I am this, Gunasam Pravaha, continuous manifestation of the different modes of nature. Buddhi Mana, the intelligence and mind. Khani, the senses. Sharira, of the body, gross and subtle. Sargaha, the divisions. Saha, that supreme personality of Godhead. Vai, indeed. Na, is not. Deva, demigod. Asura, demon. Martya, human being. Tiryak, bird or beast. Na, neither. Stree, woman. Na, nor. Sandaha, neuter. Na, neither. Pumam, man. Na, nor. Jantuhu, living being or animal. Nayam, nor is he. Gunaha, material quality. Karma, fruitive activities. Na, is not. Sat, manifestation. Na, nor. Cha, also. Asat, no manifestation. Nishedha, of the discrimination of neti. No this, no this. Sheshaha, he is the end. Jayatat, all glories unto him. Asheshaha, who is unlimited. Translation in purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality of Godhead creates his minor parts and parcels, the Jiva Tattva, beginning with Lord Brahma, the demigods, and the expansions of the Vedic knowledge, Sama, Rig, Yajur, and Atharva, and including all other living entities, moving and unmoving, with the different names and characteristics. As the sparks of a fire or shining rays of the sun emanate from their source and merge into again and again, the mind, the intelligence, the senses, the gross and subtle material bodies, and the continuous transformation of the different modes of nature all emanate from the Lord and again merge into him. He is neither demigod nor demon, neither human nor bird or beast. He is not woman, man, or neuter, nor is he an animal. He is not a material quality of fruitive activity, or manifestation or no manifestation. He is the last word and the discrimination of not this, not this. And he is unlimited. All glories to the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. Purport. This is a summary description of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, unlimited potency. That Supreme One is acting in different phases by manifesting his parts and parcels, which are all simultaneously differently situated by his different potencies. Parasya Shaktir Vividaiva Sruyate. Each and every potency is acting quite naturally. Swabhava Viki Jnana Balakriya Cha. Therefore, the Lord is unlimited. Natat Samas Cha Vyadikas Chadrisyate. Nothing is equal to him, nor is anything greater than him. Although he manifests himself in so many ways, personally he has nothing to do. Natasya Karyan Karanan Chavidyate. For everything is done by expansion of his unlimited energies. Translation again. The Supreme Personality of Godhead creates his minor parts and parcels, the Jiva Tattva, beginning with Lord Brahma, the demigods and the expansions of the Vedic knowledge, Sama, Rig, Ajur, and Atharva, and including all other living entities, moving and unmoving, with their different names and characteristics. As the sparks of the fire or the shining rays of the sun emanate from their source and merge into it again and again, the mind, the intelligence, the senses, the gross and subtle material bodies, and the continuous transformation of all different modes of nature emanate from the Lord and again merge into him. He is neither demigod nor demon, neither human or bird or beast. He is not woman, man, or neuter, nor he is an animal. He is not a material quality and fruitive activity, or a manifestation or no manifestations. He is the last word and the discrimination of not this, not this. And he is unlimited. All glories to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Om Angyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Saksurumiditanjana Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. So, the prayers of Grajendra here is explained that in that difficult situation he was taking shelter of Vishnu in the form of Narayan when he was riding the Garuda bird, and he said that the pure devotee, he never hankering for attain, the abode of Krishna. He is just happy for really surrender and doing service to the Lord in this present moment, eternally. Like the Lord Chaitanya says, Yamani Yamanisvare Bhavatat Bhakti Rahai to Kitoji. It's no matter, just birth after birth, I am just surrendered to do service to you, my Lord. So this is the characteristic of the pure devotee. He is just be happy to give his life to the service of the Lord. No? In the translation, that the personality of Godhead creates his minus parts and parcels, the Jiva Tattva beginning with Lord Brahma. So in the Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma, he explained this process of creation, how, from Krishna expansions are Vishnu, Maha Vishnu, Garbhodakasayi Vishnu, Shirodakasayi Vishnu. And then from the Garbhodakasayi Vishnu, from the lotus level, Lord Brahma appeared. And then from Lord Brahma eyebrows, Lord Shiva appeared. And then from Lord Shiva, and then Kartikeya, Ganesh, Prajapatis, all different living entities start to appear. So this is a process of creation that is explained that this is explained in the Brahma Samhita. Do you have the Brahma Samhita? Anyone read Brahma Samhita? Do you know about Brahma Samhita? Yes. So we sing it every day, Govinda Nadi Purushan and the greeting deities. So the first text from the Brahma Samhita, besides, Isvara Parama Krishna Sachitananda Vigraha, Anadi Radhika Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam. These slokas are very esoteric. He explained how the situations are like a mysterious quadrangular issue where, where the Vedas reside. Sama, Rig, Ajayur, Atharva. So there are 4 parts, and this oriented with the north, south, east, west, where residing Vasudeva, Sankarsam, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. And then we know that from Vasudeva, Keshava is manifested, Narayana is manifested, Madhava is manifested. From Pradyumna is manifested Govinda, Vishnave, Madhusudam. And then from Pradyumna, Rishikeshaya, Vamanadevaya, Sridharaya. No, this is Trivikramaya, sorry. And then from Aniruddha, expansions are Rishikeshaya, Padmavanaya, Damodaraya. So this is all very, very esoteric aspect. The Srila Bhaktisiddhanta is translating comment about this Brahma Samhita, that because we are in a very neophyte state, but gradually we need to start to understand that deepness inside this knowledge that Lord Brahma is giving us. We belong to the Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya Sampradaya. So, in our lineage, when Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he was traveling to South India, he found this 5th chapter of the Brahma Samhita. So he brought to us, and he was, they was making copies of that Brahma Samhita, because our Sampradaya is no ending in Gauranga Mahaprabhu. He's teaching us to the love of Godhead, but our Sampradaya starts with Lord Brahma. So he gave this 5th chapter of the Brahma Samhita to us, that we can go to the root of our Sampradaya, where we can get this esoteric aspect of how is Goloka Vrindavan manifested. Let me see. Yes. So later he said that the sparks of the fire and the shining rays of the sun emanate from the source and merge it, and again, the mind, intelligence, and senses, the growth in subtle material bodies, and the continuous transformation of the different modes of nature, all emanate from the Lord and again merge into Him. So it is explained that there are different kinds of mukti, saroja mukti, salokya, samipya. All these muktis or liberations are made to merge with the Lord, right? So we are like sparks of fire coming from the original source of fire, that is Krishna. And some living entities, they want to merge again to this fire. This is in the case of the Advaita philosopher or Mayavadis. He wants to merge, want to become one with the Lord. And because the Lord is unlimited, He gives the chance to them to come back to them. It's not like a child, when he was in the womb, after took birth, he wants to come back to the womb of the mother. It's not possible to come back to the womb of the mother, right? But Krishna is so kind that if you want to merge again into Him, you become one with Him, He allowed you to do that. But some sparks, they want to remain independent and then use this spark in the service of the Lord. These are the Vaishnavas, the Krishna Bhaktas. They remain with his individuality and has a personal connection with Krishna, like this. So, because in that personal relation with Krishna, we can relish this, what Gauranga Mahaprabhu giving us in the process of bhakti. That is the personal connection with Krishna. How to use our senses, how to use our mind, intelligence, our ego, in the service of the Lord. Let me see. Now he said that he's neither demigod nor demon, neither human being or beast. He is not woman, man, or neuter, nor he is an animal. He is not a material quality of fructive activity, a manifestation or no manifestation. He is the last word of the discrimination of not this, not this. So he said that he is unlimited. This reminds me that when Hiranyakashipu, he wanted to become immortal. He tried to get immortality by coming to pray to Lord Brahma. But Lord Brahma, he said, look, I am living entity, also one day I'm going to die, so I am not immortal. And then what he asked to him, he asked, that I cannot be killed during the day or the night, I cannot be killed on the ground, on the earth, I cannot be killed by a human being or by beast, animal. He started to explain different ways that he cannot be killed. So, what this boon, Lord Brahma, he gave to him, and we can see how limited is Krishna, that in order to give protection to Prahlad, he assumed such amazing personality, and then he killed to Hiranyakashipu, not during the day, not during the night, in the dusk, no inside or outside, between, no by human being or animal. He was half lion, half human being. So he manifested his unlimited potency by this incarnation of Krishna, like Nrsimhadev, in order to give protection to his devotees. He's unlimited. All glories to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Srimad Prabhu, he asked me to give some realizations about, our spiritual life. So, thank you. I will give one sense of how Krishna is unlimited. All of us, we are going into book distribution, right? who is going in book distribution. Sankirtan. Jai. So I speak about personal realizations, how many years ago, like almost 40 years ago, I was doing book distribution, and I was in a parking line, near to one mall. So many cars was coming. We distribute very good every day, many books. But what happened is that that day was the worst day of my life. Like, everything was coming against. I was for hours trying to give books. No one was taking it. I would feel so depressed. I just want to die. So I decided to leave, I go back to the temple. So when I was on the bus stop, waiting for the bus to bring me back to the center, and then it was in a wall. That wall was with full of graffitis. Did you say graffiti? Yes? Graffitis. And then was one graffiti right in there, say, by my honor. In Spanish, por mi honor. And then that sentence impacted me so much in my heart. By my honor. I became so impressed for that, because I understood that Krishna was calling me, please continue, keep going. So I left the bus stop, I went back to the parking line, and started to distribute books, and then just flow. The books were flowing. It was amazing, how everything I came back with all empty bags, and I was really, really amazed by that. So the next morning, because we were going daily to that specific pots, when I came, and then suddenly I looked to the wall, and then all graffitis were there, but the one that was for my honor was not anymore there. So how Krishna, through its own limits, through the potency of Yoga Maya, can do anything to help you to keep going on the process of Krishna consciousness, even if you are in the most difficult limit situation. Well, another example how Krishna is on limit is like in 2004, I went to China. In China, at that time, was a heavy situation for the devotees. The devotees was prosecuted. The devotees were taken to jail. So what happened that Lohitaksha Prabhu, this is from Tamal Krishna Maharaj's disciple, he called me to Spain. He said, Atmarama, you and your wife organize a group of artists because the government, Chinese government, is going to open one Indian-style street in one specific city. Can you understand my English? Yes? Okay. So we made the arrangement, and then we get a group from Rajasthan, the 4 people, and then, with my wife, we went to India, we picked up the group, and then we went to China. So the Chinese government was paying our tickets to glorify Krishna. So the same policeman that was prosecuting the devotees, he put in jail to the devotees, they was giving us protection. And then I was singing Jasamati Nandana, I was singing from Bhagavad Gita, I was singing Mahamantra in 9 public places. We have 9 concerts like that. So this was, on the material point of view, is completely surrealistic. How communist country can invite Krishna devotees to glorify Krishna, isn't it? But Krishna is unlimited. He can do anything. And we were doing a Harinam in the Great Wall after, and what happened was the day of the Mao Zedong, 50th anniversary of the Mao Zedong celebration. So all Chinese people, they were in the Great Wall. And then we went a group of devotees, 5, and then I carried with me the guitar, and going up the wall, I pick up the guitar and we start to chant Hare Krishna. My wife with the kartals, and we had devotees singing. Everyone loved it, everyone wants to have picture with us, So going up the wall, the Chinese TV was there filming the day. So for 50 minutes they were filming us and make questions to us. So that Harinam came in the news on the night all over the China. So how inconceivable is Krishna, you know? Because I was thinking just like that, and then Lord Chaitanya has a bigger plan. Because one thing is to do Harinam at the Great Wall, and another thing is they can come this Harinam all over the China that night, you know? They asked me, are you coming to glorify Mao Zedong? I cannot say yes. I say, I come to glorify Krishna. So that came cut. They don't come in the news. They came the comment of my wife, oh yes, I was dreaming to come here, you know, I so happy to be here, like that. So this came up, like this. So, when you come to understand Krishna and put your senses, your life, your words, your action to Him, you know, and the same way that you surrender to me, I reward you, like Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, and then things become completely unlimited. And then this relationship, because it's a personal relationship with Krishna, is eternally present. And that, what say, you know, the pure devotee don't care about the next life. He is completely happy and surrender his life to Krishna and the present moment to serve to Him, you know. So we are extremely happy because day by day, all this knowledge, Krishna is going to be revealed within the heart of everyone, step by step, you know. So you have little faith, Strada, and then by being Sadhu Sangha, we start to have this Vajana Kriya, this chanting the holy name, and then for that we can get this coming up, the Anartha Nivriti, to cleanse our heart for all impurities. And then we can be like that, and then we can be just Nista. No one can stop us in the service. We become fixed. And then for that we get Ruchi. We start to get taste. And then from that taste is coming this spontaneous love to Krishna. It's like you start to do service to the Lord, not because someone is telling you to do it. It's because you know that must be done. Suppose the bathroom is dirty, and then who likes to clean bathrooms? No, it's not the most attractive thing to do, right? But you can feel the spontaneous love to our Krishna to clean the bathroom, because it should be clean, right? So it's coming spontaneous, not because temple commander is telling you to do that. So this is gradual process to get bhava, spontaneous love to Krishna. And then for God you get this Shakti, transcendental attachment, by which gradually is coming to Mahabhava, okay, spontaneous great love to Krishna, and for that we get Prema. So this is the scientific way that Srila Rupa Goswami is giving us to come from this principle of faith to Prema Bhakti, to pure love of Godhead. So this is life of preparation, it's a gradual thing, like that. I was thinking about this, we have 9 processes of bhakti, and then we have so much emphasis on archana, worship, and sankirtan. But all of them are equally valuable. But what we compromise with the spiritual master is by japa. Yeah? Performing japa, we compromise, you know, follow the 4 principles, regulative principles, and to chant 16 rounds minimum, right? We don't compromise to do 24-hour kirtan, right? So, because this japa is coming from original of our sampradaya. When Lord Brahma appeared, in one of the 4 arms, he already has this japa. Japa means Jamma, Ipa, Pavarga. Jamma means birth, and Pavarga means the way to get entangled in material life. So Japa means beyond birth and death. Yeah, between the Yagyas, Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, I am the Japa. and be happy with this yagya. So, as far as we are bhaktas, it's so important to get attached to this chanting of the holy name. You know? Srila Prabhupada gives us like a very light instruction. You just listen, the holy name. Because he came with a whole Vedic culture given to people that was completely in drugs, intoxication, with no glue of understanding what means Vedic culture. So you just listen. But gradually, you know, this is a process. Like I can explain to you the importance of Tulasi. You know, Tulasi is the sense of devotion. And we see in our day how many people they are using this Kali Japa. No? Kali Japa is the metal, click, 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 when they're driving like that. But the same way that we cannot make any offering to Krishna without a leaf of Tulasi, you know, every single preparation has a leaf of Tulasi. And then in the same way that when we come to the Vrindavan temples, we come inside the door, and instead to go directly to the deity, we walk around Tulasi. We circumambulate Tulasi, and then we reach to the deity. So when we chant the holy name of Krishna, Tulasi is residing in our neck. So we need to feel the presence of Tulasi in order that the name of Krishna can be, you know, Krishna can accept our chant. So Krishna, Na is beating on the palate, on the back side of the palate, and then Rama is labial. So it's Krishna Rama is the name like that. So by holding the beat and feeling the presence of Tulasi, by chanting, like Rupa Goswami say, Krishna is dancing in our tongue, the mind will be automatically controlled. So you be conscious of this way of chanting, to be conscious of the holy name, because that way you don't allow to the mind to go somewhere else in so many directions, you know. Because as far we are listening the mind, the real nature of the name never is going to be manifested. Because the mind is going to be stronger than the purity of our chanting. We were chanting in namavas with offenses, right? So this way of chanting, to be conscious of how the Krishna is dancing in our tongue, according to Srila Rupa Goswami, and then have to feel ma, like a labial coming to the nose like that, they will really help you to be focused on purely chanting, to try. And then gradually will be manifested other aspects of this absolute truth, this very esoteric method. So, and then it will help you to understand how Krishna is on limit. You should, when you go in book distribution, you should, you know, write down or talk at night about the realization that you have with books. Because there are the external realizations with people and the internal realizations of the action. So this is really helping, you know. This Sankirtan movement is a trick to understand Bhagavad Gita, because, you know, by doing action in Krishna consciousness, by distributing books, we can understand the loss of karma, action and reaction. Every action has a reaction. If I do something wrong, obviously I am going to get the wrong reaction. So our chanting of the rounds in the morning is giving us the strength to Sankirtan. But gradually, by this Sankirtan movement, this distribute books, we can gradually understand the loss of karma. So it's very powerful. And not only that, but also the gunas, the qualities of goodness, passion and ignorance. Also, we can see in which level of consciousness we are. So it's a great benediction to be in book distribution, because it gives you gradually the understanding, the vijnana of the Bhagavad Gita. You know, in most of the devotees that are living in the ashram, the devotees that are living in the ashram, the highest quality is they're really stay in the ashram, and because we have a congregation, people that are, got a home life, going to work, but they're more the mood of Varna, right? They're cultivating Krishna consciousness, but more in the mood of Varna. While the devotees come to Mangal Arti, have full sadhana, chanting their rounds, going in book distribution, they're really 24 hours dedicated to Krishna, to the service of the Lord. So you are really extremely lucky, because you will see through their life how you can appreciate this Krishna consciousness more and more and more and more, and how the life becomes sublime. And then we get the nectar through the chanting of the holy name, through the association, and then we have the power and the strength to give to others. So it's a really beautiful, amazing life, all by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, our Sampradaya. Like that. So I don't know about the time. Do you have any? Any questions about? We are making comments about this. Yeah.
A comment and a question.
Yeah.
So a devotee in Idaho, he told me, he goes, because I was really fired up selling books, right? I was just like, yeah, I was super fired up. And he told me I just need to relax for a little bit. And I didn't get it. I was like, aren't we supposed to be selling books, man? Aren't we supposed to be selling books? That's what we're supposed to be doing. And he goes, no, man. And then he explained it. He's like, what you're doing is your words are like a scythe, right? And it says knowledge is like a sword, right? So it's your sword, you're like a scythe. And he's it's like Irish proverb, he said. It's an Irish proverb. And then you're sharpening and you're cutting the wheat, right, with your scythe, but eventually it gets dull. And after a while, yeah, you're swinging it, but it becomes dull. So sitting down and at the end with devotees and talking with devotees about what you're doing, strategizing, it's like sharpening the scythe, right? That's the kind of what you were getting at. So what would you recommend is a good way to strategize or whatnot, to sharpen the scythe even better?
Sharpens. Mm-hmm. Inside.
Oh, sorry, sharpen the scythe. You know how there's...
this has much echo, this room. Maybe better. I was struggling to understand you.
Oh, okay. All right then.
Okay.
So, when you harvest wheat, you have to cut the wheat,
right,
and you use a blade called a scythe.
Right.
And when we're distributing books, so to speak, eventually that scythe becomes dull because we're putting some effort maybe. So to sharpen that blade, we must come together and strategize or how to sharpen this blade. The question is, what do we do together to sharpen our blade, that which we cut people's attachment to the material world? Through book distribution,
well,
through our
purity is the force, Prabhupada said. Means that as far as we are sincere in our process, we don't have ulterior motivations, We just want to really act in karuna, like a merciful way to give, without trying to obtain something. The problem is when we start to try to get something out of the people supposed to get something out of that, and then become misra, it's not become pure. But if we sincerely, we just want to give wherever we got by Srila Prabhupada and in association with the Vaishnavas, it's going to be always sharp. Nothing's going to. What can be, stop to be sharp is the ulterior motivations that we can have, or material motivations inside. So we need to be always checking ourselves, the purpose of our action, to meditate, and then always will be sharp and pure. Yes? Huh? Yeah, no, we need to be always conscious, no? Yes.
Oh yeah, I did. Okay. You were saying how we're experiencing the modes, or not the modes, but karma while we're doing book distribution. And I actually was having a discussion with the devotee that my point I was making was similar, that, you know, maybe it was a different point, but I was saying that whatever you're doing, it's kind of predestined the amount of enjoyment and suffering you're getting. So whenever you're born, you have a set amount of happiness and a set amount of suffering. But he made the point, interestingly, that when you're a devotee, it's like it changes pretty drastically according to what Krishna thinks you need for devotional service. So how can we really put karma, like, you know, as a function in our own lives if it's kind of changed by Krishna, you know what I mean? How does it fit into our lives as devotees if it's like it could be changed at any moment, you know?
Well, you know, we have like 4 directions: north, east, west, you know, and then northwest, north, south, like that. Okay, 10 directions. So things can change and become like a limit situations to checking our sincerity in our life. So at that point we need to just to keep shelter, take shelter, and where we realize of the truth of the Krishna consciousness, because these challenges are going to be there in order to grow. You know, there are 81 levels of bhakti yoga. Do you know that? 81. So it's coming 81 divided in sattva gun, raja gun, tama gun, means 27 of each. And then in the tama gun you have 27. So it's going for tama gun, tama gun, tama gun, tama gun, tama gun, raja gun, tama gun, raja. That is going gradually. So in order to come from tama gun to raja gun, there are some steps, because the quality of raja is different from the quality of tamas. In order to come to sattva gun, the quality of sattva gun is different from raja gun. So this is a gradual process of, you know, to ascending in our Krishna consciousness, to come from this sattva bhakti service in Mishra, like it is, still is not pure, to come to the level of Visuddha sattva, pure goodness. So your sincerity, your process are going to be checked, because you are going gradually, going higher and higher on the process of Krishna consciousness. So it's a gradual understanding, but because we have amnesia of our spiritual life, become unknown these steps, what we need to go through, that sometimes are like a really difficult and limit situation. But that's why you need to be enthusiastic, Utsaha Nishchaya Daryat, you know, like Rupa Goswami, with determination, and keep going. And then gradually you will see the reason behind every difficult step on your life. Okay? It's okay? I have some difficulties to understand by the sound, you know, so I try to guess what your question is. Okay? Yes?
Hare Krishna. Thank you for your class, Prabhu. You were mentioning that as far as book distribution is concerned, we hear that phrase you mentioned all the time by Prabhupada, purity is the force. And I have 2 questions in this regard, but when we hear purity is the force, there may be a dilemma that may come up with our false ego, that if I get a lot of books out, then you know, I must be pure. And the reason I'm getting a lot of books out is because my humility and my purity, and not Krishna's mercy. And whereas somebody may become dejected that because I'm not getting a lot of books out, I might not be as pure or determined or whatever. So that's my first question. I'm not sure, maybe you can answer that first, and I have a brief other one after that. So can you, what should our mentality be in this regard? So.
Can you make the question without mic now? Good. No, mic. Yeah. I am? Yeah. Yeah. because, we had different stages in life. It's like there's a period of life, maybe you can think that you're pure, and another part of your spiritual life, you can think that you're like really the worst worm, So in both situations, you need just to transcend. Who is very deep for Krishna, who is beyond fame, unfame, honor, dishonor. Bhakti Yoga, Bhagavad Gita explain about these things. So wherever we identify with our mind, thinking that we are this, that we are that, you just tolerate the mind, don't listen so much, and keep going in your service, because all there are fluctuations of the mind till you become nista. You become clear that you are eternal servant of Krishna. And then you already accept fame, honor, dishonor, already you are transcending all these things, In some part of your life, you can become very unfamous, and everything becomes against, you become very difficult. In another part of your life, you become famous, and everyone recognizes you. But all there are things that we need to transcend. And then for this transcendence of fame, of infame, like that, we become very deep for Krishna, because we keep going in our service to the Lord without care about these old upadhis, external things, giving us to that.
Yeah. Can I ask one more brief question? Yeah. Good Gajendra, how do we maintain our faith? Just like Gajendra, you were mentioning in the beginning of your class that Lord Chaitanya says we shouldn't desire anything, money, followers, etc. So when we don't expect anything, we won't be disappointed when we don't get it. But in the prayers of Gajendra, he was expecting the mercy of the Lord. He says, the Lord will save me. But after, it's described that he was in battle with the crocodile for 1,000 years. So after 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, it's easy to lose faith. So how do we, it seems like there's like a contradiction that we shouldn't expect, anything, but at the same time we should expect the mercy of the Lord. So how do we maintain our faith when it seems like, we're not getting the reciprocation, the Lord's not saving me in whatever suffering condition I'm in. So how do we maintain our faith?
Well, faith can be maintained by knowledge, because sometimes the faith can be flickering, can be, but if you apply the knowledge, and then faith is coming back. So in the case of Gajendra, even through all these years, because he has the knowledge about God, about Krishna, about Narayana, and then, that knowledge made to him to maintain the faith. Because without knowledge, and then, it can last few days, but you need to apply the knowledge. That's what, we have this Bhagavad Gita, and then we have karma, we have bhakti, we have jnana, all these things, and then daily we are practicing this knowledge, and then this bhakti, this action. So day by day we get realizations, obviously. Every moment to moment we get jnana, we get realizations. So this is strength, our knowledge, it means strength, our faith. So in the case of Gajendra, is because he has this knowledge, realization about Narayana, and then he could maintain. You just wait. In our spiritual life is like that, we just time is between to make things happen in the right time. And gradually become manifested, It's just only question of time. You have the almond fruit, you have beautiful flowers in the almond. Beautiful flower, but it's not fruit. So it's a question of time that flower gradually become seed, become fruit, right? It's okay? Okay? Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki, Hari Bol.